Dark, disturbing ghost stories. The Hollow Saint. There was never a saint. There was only the Hollow. For centuries, the legend has been whispered, passed down in fragmented warnings, in the terrified scribblings of monks who vanished before they could finish their final sentences. A saint, faceless and veiled, who walked among the desperate offering salvation in silence. But silence is not mercy. Silence is the warning of something far worse. The Hollow Saint is not a tale of faith. It is a trap, a ritual woven into the very act of remembrance. Every time the name is spoken, every time the story is told, it grows, it listens, it watches. The inverted halo seen in ancient depictions. That is no symbol of divine favor. It is a mouth, a chasm of absolute darkness, always waiting, always hungry. The moment you hear the name, it has already begun. The manuscript flickers in the dim light of a candle, casting long, sinister shadows on the walls. The pages flip almost on their own, revealing the first line. Do not seek him. He seeks you. The history of the Hollow Saint traces back to the 15th century, hidden deep within the ruins of a crumbling monastery in the mountains. There, the monks had sealed away something ancient, something evil. Their scribes wrote in fearful haste, knowing their time was running out. There is no record of how it started, only echoes of those who tried to unravel its origins. The first known mention of the Hollow Saint appears in the cryptic writings of the Order of Saint Uriel, a monastic sect wiped from existence in a single night. Their monastery, once a beacon of knowledge, was found eerily intact, its walls lined with robes still standing, their owners long devoured. The books in their library had been left open, but the pages were blank, as if the ink itself had been consumed by something insatiable. In the centuries that followed, villages fell silent. Entire communities vanished without a struggle. No doors were broken, no bodies left behind, only the unsettling remnants of life interrupted. Candles still burned in windows, meals sat half-eaten on wooden tables, and in the dust of empty rooms, footprints trailed off into nothingness. A single diary was found in one such place, the ink still wet, reading only, "It is not a prayer, it is a doorway." The monastery's last surviving monks vanished overnight, leaving nothing but their cryptic writings and a terrifying warning. He is not of this world nor the next. Deep in the overgrown weeds outside the monastery, an abandoned grave lies half-buried. The tombstone, weathered by centuries of neglect, bears symbols, unfamiliar, disturbing. The name is unreadable, worn away by time. But those who stumble upon it speak of a strange chill, an oppressive darkness surrounding the grave. Some claim to have heard whispers in the wind, speaking a name long forgotten, the Hollow Saint. Beneath a forgotten church, the crypt lies waiting. The stone door creaks open to reveal a long-abandoned chamber, its walls adorned with ancient mirrors that reflect only darkness. In the center of the room, an altar holds a book, bound in leather, that appears to be made from human skin. Its pages crackle with an unnatural energy, and the faint glow of its writing reads, "Sanctus vacuus, guide me home." It is said that the Hollow Saint does not take. It waits. The more you seek to understand it, the closer it comes. The warnings have always been there, buried in forgotten texts, in church murals where a faceless figure lingers at the edges of biblical scenes, halo inverted, mouth open in silence. The last known attempt to break the cycle was in 1789, when a gathering of scholars, priests, and occultists convened in an abbey on the outskirts of what is now Lyon, France. They sought to expunge the Hollow Saint from memory, to erase its very name. At midnight, screams rang through the valley. By dawn, the abbey was nothing more than a husk, its walls blackened, its courtyard littered with footprints leading outward, yet none leading in. The legend tells of those who sought to break the cycle, to exorcise, to contain, to forget. But the Hollow Saint does not need faith. It does not need belief. It only needs a voice. The moment you speak of it, you offer yourself. You allow it to exist within you, creeping like a shadow you can never turn fast enough to catch. Some say you must never read its name aloud. Others say that silence is not enough, that once you know of it, once you begin to think of it, it has already entered your thoughts, reshaping them, carving out pieces of you that will never return. The final warning, found scratched into a monastery wall, half erased by time. Do not pray to the Hollow Saint. Do not seek to understand it. He waits beneath every whispered breath, and he is listening now. Those who encounter the Hollow Saint will never leave. Their souls, their identities, their very essence will fade, consumed by the darkness. The saint is always watching, always waiting for the next soul to claim. His hunger never ends, and those who know his name are doomed to feel his presence every night, lurking in the shadows, waiting to take what little is left of them. Even now, the Hollow Saint remains. His legend continues to spread, whispered by those who have survived, passed on through the centuries. And though the story seems to end here, there are those who believe the Hollow Saint will rise again, that his hunger will never be satisfied. His void is infinite, and so long as souls continue to wander, he will be there, waiting, always waiting in the now that you have heard his name. He knows you. He lingers beyond the edges of your vision, waiting for the moment you forget the warning, waiting for the silence to break. Thank you for listening to Vale of Dark Whispers. If you enjoyed this tale, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a story. And for those who dare, when we reach 1,000 subscribers, we have something truly terrifying waiting for you. A legend even darker than the Hollow Saint. But be warned, some stories should never be told.